box score from the first game, and you noticed that the minutes have really changed a lot in your lineup since that game.
Yeah, I think both teams have evolved, and obviously a key component for Louisville was Honest in that game, and he's hurt and probably out for the year. And Dang Adele, who didn't play much, is now over the last 3 games having 11 points a game. I think Trey Lewis is healthy again and really playing well. They got some guys playing at a high level, and so do we. But that's what happens during the year, and I think we're a better team. I think they're a better team, so it should be a great game.
Anas, how could that make an impact on just not having him in the...
Well, he was averaged 2.5 points a game.
Right.
He had a great game that game, and similar to us, it's one game one of our guys steps up and has a great game for us, but they're still great. They're big inside. I know Coach Patino is really high on Ray Spalding and his athletic ability and basketball IQ and length and all those different things. They got in foul trouble in the Pittsburgh game and had to play small, which they don't do very often, but they won the game because of it, you know what I mean? So they got great versatility all the way around.
You look at the matchups, Anas, he was a tougher matchup because of his length. When you look at Onuaku, he's a strength guy, and that's where your strength lies in the post.
Well, they hurt us in the post, and obviously Anas played great in that game, but Onuaku was able to rebound the ball and score some baskets. Like I said, they're a top 20 team in the country because they'll have different guys step up when need be. And it's, with Damian Lee, you got one of the, most prolific scorers in our league, a guy who makes big shots all the time. He made some big ones against us, and he has all year long.
When you look at the last game, too, you notice that Chuck and Jacobs both had double-digit rebounds, so you're going to need that type of performance in this game to stay in.
Yeah, we need even more,
Yeah.
Got to do a great job on the glass because they're so physical around the basket, and they cause problems because of their ability to drive the ball, and so now you get rotation rebounds and different things like that. They really hurt us in transition and really hurt us in the glass in that first game.
Coach, is preparing to play a quality team like that any easier when you're playing well, winning 4 straight? Is confidence such that it's easier to sell the game plan, etc., things like that?
Yeah, our guys have been pretty good about that all year long. You know what I mean? I thought our game plan against them this first time that we played them, and even last year, has been good. You got to take care of the ball. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country, so you're going to have stretches, and everybody does against them, where it's really, really hard to score the basketball. That's when you need to be really solid defensively, and as many lulls as we had offensively in the second half, our defense wasn't able to carry us through on a couple of those times, and you need to do that. That's been, they've done a great job in the conference season of going on those streaks offensively, where now their defense is still rock solid, and that's something that we need to do.
Imagine you anticipate with them having their senior night and then going to the tournament that they'll be coming out as hard as
Yeah. I mean, you got to give them credit that they're probably disappointed that they lost that game against Miami because they were in pretty good control of that game with about 5-6 minutes to go. But with the loss with North Carolina and their loss, they're still in the hunt for the ACC championship. And I know that once the sanctions came out, that was the big thing that they were going to strive for. And there were 2 games left. One of them against Virginia, a team that is above them right now. They got a great opportunity to still do that. So you add all those things at this time of the year. Everybody's we're playing for something too now. You know what I mean? And so you got to be ready to go.
4 or 5 games back, we talked about Marcus and how he needed to take control, as his career is coming to a close, and I guess you couldn't have asked for much more than what you've seen lately.
He's been great, and he's got really good command on the court in terms of what we want to get done and how we want to get it done, and who we want getting it done. sometimes that's him, and sometimes it's other guys, and he's been really, really good with that. Plus, I just think he's been more vocal, a little more demonstrative, which those two terms don't always go in line with Marcus, because he's always been more of a leader by example, but he's done a really good job of that over the last few weeks.
Where do you see that happening the most?
I mean, on the court, in practice, on the court in timeouts, different things like that. Actually telling guys where to go and different things during the game. Just constantly communicating with either the bigs or the guards, and our guys have always gotten along pretty well, and so there's a lot of communication during the timeouts and different things like that amongst the players. Again, he's carrying himself like, all right, follow along, you know what I mean? But you can't do that without other guys helping him along. And Adam's been great with that. And obviously, I think Quentin's done a really good job of that as well.
One thing that it's not noticeable is assists. He's really done a good job of distributing the ball also besides scoring. I remember back in his final AAU game, I talked to him and he said, I think I can be a point guard. And I sort of looked at him, because kids that age, they feel like they can do anything, and it turned out to be true, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, his assist to turnover ratio has been good. And against him, when you look at Florida State, you look at Clemson, you look at Notre Dame, the teams that can put some heat on you too. So he'll be well tested on Tuesday night for sure.
I think it was the Duke or the Miami game you brought in. Nick was saying the Navy SEALs instructor.
Mm-hmm.
What prompted that invitation to have him come back and speak?
Well, we were starting the second round of the ACC. It was a midway point, and he had obviously, we did the fall stuff, and just felt that was a good time to bring him back, just to kind of go over some of the stuff that we did and where we were at and what we needed to continue to do.
Around that time, obviously, things have gotten significantly better since. Was there something you felt like the team needed from you, or that you could give them to get them going a little bit?
It's just a feel. I mean, we had John Gordon speak to us before the season. We had all the seniors in one night. We Skyped with him. It's just, you got to constantly, be hitting the guys, especially, when you're losing some close and tough games. Be honest, there's a lot of negativity, and the guys got to stay focused. And now the challenge is there's a lot of positiveness, and you got to stay focused. You know what I mean? Because the distractions are distractions, good or bad. And to stay single-minded on what we need to do and how we've played over the last few weeks, that's really important.
But John Gordon, that was before the season, you said?
Yeah, then we Skyped with him during the season.
Oh, really?
As well. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
About what point was that?
No, not really. I mean, at this point, after 29 games, they all kind of start coming together, you know what I mean? But I mean, you just do, and obviously we meet all the time, and different things like that. So you're always hitting on guys that the mental approach is such an important part nowadays. You know what I mean? Because you can't do as much physically. You know what I mean? And this is a quick turnaround again. A Saturday afternoon and now a Tuesday night. So you got to prepare the mind as well as the body.